guys have in store for us? 13 episodes. What's the plan? How's it looking?
Well, the plan is we're doing 13 because they're so big, they're so bold, and a little hairy that's all we could possibly do right now.
We're picking up where we left off.
Exactly where we left off.
Dealing with all the situations we have to deal with the hole we dug for ourselves. So the captain's got a big issue coming up. So does Juliet Eve. Who is she? What's she dealing with? We have the stick to deal with, the power of that. So all this stuff.
And that ring of Adeline, is that what you're talking? Oh yeah, that's
the ring. Yep.
Got to deal with that too. It's all coming. And we're going to explain some of the larger cosmic issues. You know, we like to take on history, royalty, national socialism in Germany, and now we're gonna tackle some even bigger stuff.
Can we talk a little bit more about the ring and/or the stick, those two magical items, and what the repercussions of those are going to be? It sounded like for some interviews afterward that the ring will not have died, that its power is still existent.
Well, yeah, there's other bigger emotional issues going on rather than the ring, but she's still got the ring and she's afraid to take it off.
And the stick.
And the stick, the power of the stick, where does it come from?
That simple little stick.
It's a bigger deal.
Where does it come from? How does it work? How does it affect people, either who used it or have had it used on them? You know, nothing's free in life. You got to pay a price.
So what are you going to do to your characters this season? Like, what do you want? What's the theme of what's going to happen to them mostly?
I think a lot of suffering.
A lot of suffering. Suffering is there where we're going with this?
Lots to work out this year. You know, all of these things have now come to a head between everybody, you know.
Is there going to be any joy, like maybe for Monroe?
Joy?
Joy for Monroe.
Well, there's always joy with Monroe and Rosalie. You know, but suffering still. But yeah, it's a joyous show, but life is not easy for any of these people in that town, in a world where there are Vesson and Grimm.
Well, in last season, you guys had moments, especially when the gang was all together and trying to figure things out, where you added a lot of humorous moments and interactions. Are we going to have some of that still in the new season?
Oh yeah, we'll still have that.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't write anything that doesn't have some of that
humor somewhere.
Yeah, in it, for sure.
It's more fun.
I was going to ask about new Vessons. So are there going to be new Vessons introduced in this season as well?
Yeah, again.
Yes?
I think, what are we up to? 89, 90 of them? We don't know. But
El Quegle is coming.
Quegle.
What El Quegle? What is
it? It's a real myth, like Chupacabra.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's different than physically it's different than anything we've ever done before. And also psychically, it's different than anything we've ever done before. And it's a real interesting story. And it involves innocent little babies.
So from a creative standpoint, you know, as the seasons go on, you want to make it more interesting, bigger, more exciting. How do you maintain the level of intensity when creating new Vesson without going completely ridiculous? I mean, like the rat monster was probably the biggest thing you've done, and that was cool. Yeah. But how do you maintain your creative control and not make a T-Rex monster in the next season? Or maybe there is. Where's the T-Rex monster?
Dinosaur.
Well, we kind of did the dinosaur last season with the guy in the lake.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of
trying to explain the Loch Ness monster and those critters.
We like it when they have an emotional core to them in some way, shape, or form, you know, or at least when we understand them, you know, or well, he was a drunken guy in a Speedo. We really like that a lot.
Yeah, dinosaurs. If we could explain it, we'd pick a Vesson that looked like a dinosaur when it had morphed, who was mistaken for a dinosaur, but was actually still human and had his own human problems and all that kind of stuff.
And with us explain dinosaurs, because we love to explain stuff on Grimm. How's all this? I mean, the initial idea was, how do you explain evil, people who are so evil, and the idea that they actually have monsters inside themselves. And then it grew to, well, some Vesson are good, you know, some Vesson are terrific, a la Monroe and Rosalie.
So speaking of Vesson, is Wu officially a Vesson now?
No, he's not a Vesson.
Yeah.
He's something different.
Yeah, so he's something else, right?
Yeah, he is
Okay.
something else.
He's Neanderwood.
Neanderwalt.
He's Neanderwood.
Speaking of something else, Meisner.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't seem to be a Grimm. He didn't seem to be Vesson. Yet he was super badass. Like, how did he fit into the thing, and why did you have to kill him?
For that very tone of voice, that's why.
He wouldn't take his shirt off anymore. So
Oh, then
then
gone.
get rid of him.
He's out, he's gone.
All right.
One of our very favorites, and there were mostly women, but people on the set who were like, "You can't do this. You know, you don't know what you're
So
doing."
we really blame Bonaparte and Captain. We had nothing to do with writing it. They just
Yeah.
did it on the day.
They
and
killed
we're
him.
really sorry that.
He's a great part of the show. We love Meisner.
Yeah.